Level 1. The interview. You're sitting across from a man who hasn't blinked in 3 minutes. The coffee shop is crowded enough that your conversation disappears into ambient noise, but empty enough that you could spot surveillance if it existed. He slides an envelope across the table. Inside is a photograph of someone you've never met and $20,000 in hundreds. Half now, half on completion. The man's voice is flat, rehearsed. He's done this before. You haven't. Not like this. Your military background makes you qualified. 8 years as a Marine Scout sniper, 2 tours, 43 confirmed kills, all sanctioned, all justified, all weighing on you differently now that you're sitting in a coffee shop being offered money to do it again without the uniform or the flag or the justification. The man says the target is a problem that needs solving. He doesn't elaborate. You don't ask. Asking makes you complicit in ways that accepting money somehow doesn't. At least that's what you tell yourself. You take the envelope. The man stands, leaves his coffee untouched, walks out. You sit there for another 20 minutes staring at the photograph. Middle-aged guy, balding, wearing a suit and what looks like a corporate headshot. He could be anyone. That's the point. In 3 weeks, he'll be no one. The preparation starts that night. You create a routine that looks normal from the outside. Morning runs, gym sessions, grocery shopping. Underneath, you're studying. The target's schedule, his route to work, where he eats lunch, what time he walks his dog. Patterns are vulnerabilities. Everyone has. This guy's pattern is Tuesdays. Every Tuesday at 6:15 in the morning, he jogs through a park that's empty except for one other regular, an older woman who walks the opposite direction and never makes eye contact with anyone. You spend 2 weeks just watching, sitting in your car with a newspaper looking like you're waiting for someone. The target passes. Same pace, same route, same wireless earbuds. Creatures of habit make easy work. The hard part isn't the mechanics. The mechanics are simple. Long-range shot from an elevated position, suppressed rifle, angle that makes trajectory analysis difficult for investigators. The hard part is the decision that happens in the second before you pull the trigger. The point where you're still a person who hasn't done this, and then you're not. Tuesday morning arrives. You're in position at 5:30. The park is gray and pre-dawn light. Your rifle is a Remington 700 with a suppressor you machined yourself. Untraceable. The shot is 240 yards. You've made harder shots with wind and dust and people trying to kill you. This is clinical by comparison. The target appears at 6:14. 1 minute early. You adjust. He's wearing the same reflective vest he always wears. Through your scope, you can see sweat on his forehead even in the cold. Your finger rests on the trigger. This is the moment. This is where you become what you're becoming. You think about the money. You think about how easy it was to find you, to recruit you, to turn your skills into something purchasable. You think about whether this man deserves what's about to happen, then realize that question doesn't matter because you already decided when you took the envelope. The shot breaks clean. Suppressed rounds don't silence a rifle. They reduce it to something that sounds like a car door closing in the distance. The target drops. You're already breaking down your rifle, packing it into a gym bag, walking to your car like you just finished a workout. The whole operation from shot to vehicle is 90 seconds. You're 3 miles away before the older woman on her walk finds the body and starts screaming. The second half of the payment arrives in your mailbox 2 days later. Different envelope, same hundreds, no note, no congratulations. Just money that spends the same as any other money except it doesn't. You deposit it in 3 different accounts over 2 weeks. Small amounts. Nothing that triggers reporting requirements. The news covers the shooting for 1 cycle. Random violence in a safe neighborhood. Police have no leads, no suspects, no motive. The target's widow cries on camera and you turn it off. 3 weeks pass. You're at the same coffee shop. Different table. Same positioning near the exit. A woman sits down across from you this time. Younger, professional, the kind of person who blends into any environment by looking like she belongs everywhere. She doesn't waste time with small talk. Another envelope, another photograph, another problem that needs solving. The price has gone up. $40,000. Your work was clean. Clean work commands premium rates. You look at the photograph. Woman this time, late 30s, smiling in what looks like a vacation photo. The contractor across from you says nothing about who she is or why someone wants her dead. That's not how this works. You're not a detective. You're a tool. Tools don't ask questions about what they're building or destroying. But here's what you're learning already. The first one changes you, makes the second one easier. Not easy, easier. The line you crossed doesn't disappear behind you. It stretches forward. Each job pushes it further out until you can't remember where it used to be. You take the envelope. The woman stands, leaves, disappears into foot traffic outside. You sit there with your coffee and wonder how many envelopes it takes before you stop wondering. Level 3, the professional. 6 jobs in 8 months. You've got a system now. Different weapon for each contract. Different approach. Rooftop 1 week, ground level the next. You vary timing, location, method. Patterns get people caught. The money stacks in safety deposit boxes across 4 banks. You pay taxes on a consulting business that exists only on paper. The IRS doesn't care where money comes from if you report it. Most contract killers get caught through finances, not forensics. You're living in a decent apartment now. Nothing flashy. The kind of place a mid-level accountant might rent. You drive a 7-year-old sedan. You shop at the same grocery store every Thursday. Your neighbors think you work in IT. Something boring with computers that doesn't invite questions. You've become exactly what you need to be, invisible through ordinariness. The contractor rotates. Sometimes it's the first man. Sometimes it's the woman. Once it's a teenager who can't be older than 19, which tells you this organization recruits young. They're building something sustainable. You're not the only asset. Probably not even in the top 10. Just another replaceable part in a machine you'll never fully see. Job 7 is different. The target is law enforcement. A detective who's been investigating something he shouldn't. The envelope comes with a warning. This one's hot. Double the rate. 80,000. You almost walk away. Killing cops brings heat that never cools. But 80,000 is 80,000. And you've already crossed every line that mattered. You spend 3 weeks on surveillance. The detective has patterns, but he's careful. Checks his mirrors. Varies his route home. He knows someone might be coming. That awareness makes him harder to reach, but not impossible. Nobody's impossible. You catch him at a gas station at 6 in the morning. He's alone, pumping fuel, half asleep. You walk up like you're heading inside for coffee. The suppressed pistol is under your jacket. 2 shots center mass. He drops between the pumps. You're in your car before his coffee finishes spilling across the concrete. The news coverage is massive. Police union offers rewards. FBI gets involved. For 2 weeks, you don't leave your apartment except for necessities. You watch every report, study every press conference. They have nothing. No witnesses, no footage. The gas station's cameras were on a loop you'd arranged the night before. The detective becomes a martyr, his face on billboard, his family on television pleading for information. You feel something watching his widow cry. Not guilt exactly, more like recognition. She's on one side of what you do, you're on the other. The distance between those positions is permanent. Level 4, the liability. Your phone rings at 2 in the morning. Unknown number. You answer because that's protocol. The voice isn't one of your regular contractors. It's older, rougher. He uses your real name, the one you haven't heard spoken in over a year. That's when you know this conversation is a problem. He tells you the detective you killed was working a case that's now grown into something bigger. Federal task force, organized crime division. They're connecting murders across 6 states, different methods, different weapons, but similar circumstances. Professional hits, contract work. They don't have names yet, but they're building a pattern. The voice tells you to disappear for 6 months. Go dark, no jobs, no contact. Let the investigation lose momentum. He'll reach out when it's safe. You ask about payment for lost time. He laughs. It's not a friendly sound. He says you've made enough to take a vacation. Consider it mandatory retirement, temporary or otherwise. You pack a bag that night, cash, fake documents, burner phones. You're in a different state by dawn. Somewhere rural where strangers are common enough not to attract attention. You rent a cabin month to month, grow a beard, spend your days hiking, your nights reading. It's the quietest your life has been since you took the first envelope. 3 months in, you see your face on television, not your current face. A sketch based on descriptions from people you didn't know were watching. The gas station job. Someone saw something, enough to build a composite. It doesn't look exactly like you, but it's close enough that you recognize yourself. The reward is up to 200,000. You burn everything connected to your old identity. The fake IDs, the credit cards, the phones. You buy new documents from a forger 3 states over. Different name, different background. You become someone else again, this time not by choice, by necessity. The 6 months become 8, then 10. The phone never rings. Your contacts have gone silent. Either they're protecting themselves, or they're gone. You don't know which. The money you saved is running low. Not broke yet, but heading there. You could walk away, find legitimate work, disappear into normal life. Plenty of people have done worse and lived quiet endings. But you've been this thing too long now. It's not just what you do. It's what you are. The skills don't translate to anything legal. The mindset doesn't adjust back. You're a weapon that's been fired too many times. You can't unfire yourself. You make a decision. If they won't call you, you'll make yourself available. You leave signs in places the organization would see. digital breadcrumbs, coded messages. You're still here, still capable, still willing. 2 weeks later, an envelope arrives at your cabin. No return address. Inside is a single photograph and a number. 200,000. The biggest contract you've seen. The target is staring at you from the photo. It's the detective's widow, the one who cried on television, the one whose grief you watched from your apartment. You hold the photograph for a long time, understanding finally what you are to these people. Not an asset, not even a professional. Just a problem that solves problems until it becomes one itself. The envelope sits on your table for 3 days. You know what taking it means. You know what refusing it means. Both roads end the same way eventually. The only question is how much further down you're willing to go before you get there. You pick up the photograph one last time. Study her face. The widow who lost everything because you were good at your job. The organization is tying up loose ends. She knows something, or they think she does. Either way, she's a liability now, just like you are, just like everyone becomes eventually in this work. The mathematics are simple. Take the job and you're confirming what you already know, that there's no bottom to this, that you'll keep falling until something stops you, and that something won't be a decision you make. It'll be a bullet from someone younger, hungrier, cheaper than you. Someone sitting in a coffee shop right now, looking at your photograph, wondering how many envelopes it takes before they stop wondering. You burn the photograph. Watch her face curl and blacken in your sink. The envelope goes next. 200,000 turns to ash in less than a minute. You pack what fits in a backpack. Leave everything else. The cabin, the fake identity, the idea that you were ever in control of any of this. 3 days later, you're in a different country with a new name and enough cash to last maybe a year if you're careful. You find work at a bar that doesn't ask questions. Pour drinks. Keep your head down. Try to remember what normal feels like. Some nights you dream about the park, the first target jogging in the gray dawn, the moment before the shot when you were still deciding. You wake up knowing you decided a long time before that. Maybe the first time you held a rifle. Maybe before that. Some people are built for this. The tragedy isn't becoming it. It's believing you ever had a choice.